Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming. Great crowd on hand. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. While everyone else was off and vacationing and going to Hawaii and everything else, the Hardrockers were busy. Not calling out anybody named going to Hawaii. I won't do that. The Hardrockers were busy at work. Just got back from a trip to New Mexico Highlands and Colorado Mines, and a few games to talk about since we've last been here. So welcome up, head coach of the Hardrocker men's basketball team, as we look forward to a home weekend this weekend. Jason Henry.
All right, I'll be quick and let our guys talk. We got a couple guys up here to talk about a few games. I wasn't the one that was in Hawaii. I was in Minot, North Dakota. So a little different. You talk about both ends of the spectrum, that's for sure. We did have a few games going into break. A couple games, I guess, since we've had the luncheon. I've been playing pretty well. We were undefeated at home, carrying back to last year. We'd run a couple at home as well. So really protecting our home court, and we ran into a really good playing team at the time with Regis, and they're still playing very well. But very good team, and we didn't play overly well, that's for sure. But we did get a win the night before, and then the loss to Regis, and ended up basically going in 3-3 into the break. Sitting pretty good. I was excited about the guys, but we did need a break. It felt like a chance to just go home and see mom, some of us, and the rest of us got a chance to hang out with some family, definitely some family friends. Some of our international guys got a chance to go home or go back to Colorado and whatnot to hang out with some other parents. So it was good that way, but I knew right when we got well, 2 or 3 days, I suppose, I was out on the road recruiting, and I knew I want to be back. You know, it's just one of those things where I already want it to be March to see where we end up, good, bad, or otherwise, but I wish I had a crystal ball. But it's fun to go through that journey and figure out coming into practices, going on this weekend's game, road trip, finding a way to get a win that we'll talk about in a second. But it was just to get back into the gym and things after about 3 days, and I was like them, just going, okay, this is great to have a couple days off, a week off, and I was already chomping at the bit, especially, like I said, going out and watching some of our players. We got a couple players I had an opportunity to see that are already coming here for next year. I got a chance to go to a couple practices on guys that we are recruiting, and just to be in the gym that whole time was great. And then, like I said, we went up to Minot, we got stuck there shoveling, had a blizzard, ended up missing practice actually. Coach Glenn and Coach Reinhardt had practice for us that Tuesday night. We kept pushing it back, and we just couldn't get out of our cul-de-sac with an extra 25 inches. And I was just talking to them now. I think they got another 6 or 7 inches up there too, so it's been crazy. But yeah, regrouped and came back on that Tuesday with some practice. Wednesday, Thursday, and then we left Thursday morning, had a long road trip. It took us about 11 hours or so to get down there. Went to New Mexico, played a very, very good, athletic New Mexico Highlands team. You know, we ended up winning the game. We did tie a school record with 17 threes. I think we were, 17 for 33 or something like that, 32. So shot the ball extremely well. Still turned it over too much, still did some things that we definitely can improve on. But it was nice to finally, not finally, we've shot the ball okay at times, but this is just a team that we've talked about from day one that we know can shoot the ball. Especially when we got very good post guys that teams are going to have to double, teams are going to have to find a way to stop, but we're going to have some opportunities to knock down some open shots. And you know, in some games, honestly, we haven't done it like I know what we're capable of. And we did that, and it was all the way across the board. Jamal kind of got himself going, got the team going. I don't even know how many did you end up with, Jamal? Where is Jamal? What'd you end up with? I'm sure you know. How many did you end up? How many threes? About six, give or take 4 or 5. I'm sure he did that. But yeah, he got us going. Obviously, you know, we know Jake, Heath being able to knock down shots, and Brian, and I mean, just all the way across the board. And then Connor Koulis even got in the action. All right, so I don't know if he'd had one prior to that. I know the last couple of years he was shooting under 10%, if not 0% from the three-point line. He took about 1 every other game kind of thing, so ended up at 10, 12 a year. And I don't know, honestly, if he had made one. So it was good. Once that happened, there's a number of minutes left, I guess, and I almost just went to the locker room. I said, okay, Connor Koulis is knocking down threes. We're out of here. We got this one in the bag. Let's go home. So it was nice to see that with everybody doing their part that way. Then we ran into a very good, obviously Colorado Mines team. They were ranked 18th in the country. When we played them up here, they didn't shoot the ball very well. We did a lot of good things on the defensive end. Found a way to get the victory that we've talked about already. And they came out, hotter than a pistol, and probably a little ticked off that they lost to us up at our place, I'm sure. So they hit some shots right away. Went inside out. Just very good. A team that can do a number of different things. Came off a couple big wins prior to Christmas, winning at Metro by 20. Or 18, whatever it was, at UCCS by 20, won the night before to a very good Westminster team, very, very good Westminster team, and found a way to beat them too. So we knew we had our hands full. They come out hot. We missed some shots. We did some good things on the offensive end, missed some shots to kind of hang around there initially, and then played pretty well, the rest of the game, especially on the offensive side. Defensively, once you get down 15 points, 12 points, we kind of hung around there for most of the game. And then towards the end, we actually tried to do some different things. We knew it was probably over, but we tried to spread it out a little bit. And then, we missed a couple shots. They got some easy buckets, and obviously ended up, over 20 points and whatnot. But it felt like throughout the game, for me anyway, I don't know for the guys, that we were right there. We just kept missing those shots when we need to make that run. If it was the night before, we're probably right there. Obviously just knocking them down. We did play pretty much the whole game without Connor. Connor's been sick. He did play in the New Mexico game. Did play some very good minutes. I didn't think he was going to play that much. He got food poisoning, been sick. We don't know if it's just the flu or flu on top of it, but had food poisoning. So obviously very dehydrated and that kind of things, and just didn't play. I think he played 8 minutes or something like that against Colorado Mines. Had 2 points and just couldn't make it go. So that was a big effect on us as far as having 20 points, 10 rebounds out of the lineup. But he does some other things too. So that being said, we got some other opportunities for guys to get in there and do some things, and we just didn't get the job done and took the loss there. This weekend we do have 2 very good teams coming back up here. Obviously one of them we're very familiar with Highlands being a team that we just played. We played them on Saturday night again. Kind of the same thing as the Colorado Mines. You beat them at home, number one. They probably not in a million years thought they were going to lose to us, and they can just show up and you're on our home court, and we kind of took it to them. Well, they're not going to be overly happy about that, I'm sure. So that second night, we're definitely going to have our hands full against a good athletic team that hopefully we shoot the ball well again. If we don't, we do need to limit those turnovers, have some more opportunities, get the rebound, whatever the case is, to find a way to win. And then the first night, though, is on Friday night, is I think one of the top 2-3 teams in the league. Watching them on film, watching them right now again, getting ready for this weekend, is Colorado State Pueblo. They did beat Black Hills, Friday night it must have been, and then turned around and won again on Saturday night. But they've won 6 or 7 in a row now. Very good, high-scoring team. They have, I guess they only played 1 game, I think, this weekend. But anyway, they have 6 guys that do average almost in double figures. One of them, their leading scorers coming off the bench, point guard spot, and they just score. And against BH in the second half, they didn't score like they're capable of. It ended up being a close game. BH actually had a chance to win at the end. So it just tells you how level we've talked about that plenty in here, is how even the competition is within the conference, and that shows you again with a very good Pueblo team at their place. Struggling a little bit with Black Hills, but finding a way to get a win. So they're at the top of the conference. We're going to have our hands full. We'll start working on them tomorrow. We're through practice today already. Got practice tomorrow. We'll start talking about them a little bit more about Highlands, and then still concentrating on ourselves. That's the best part of the break right now, is for one, all the guys are here. We've done some things team building wise that we'll do these next couple days, and all those kind of things. Bottom line is I don't have to go to school, so we get to concentrate, like I talk about. It's almost being like an NBA team right now, is all you have to worry about is showing up to the gym, getting in there, getting your shots up, preparing for the next team that you're going to play, and then getting better yourself. We put in a little bit of a wrinkle in an offense, but the bottom line for us now to finish out the year here, these next 2 months, hopefully 2.5 months, is getting those stops on the defensive end. We talk about that from day one, is getting the stops. We talk about that for, the old saying goes, winning championships. You got to get her done on the defensive end, and we didn't do that on Saturday night. We got to, I wouldn't say regroup, but we got to get that focus back in and get those stops when we need to. So we'll go to highlights, and then we'll get some questions to get these guys in up here and ask them a bunch of questions. All right, just towards the end of the game here now, out in Highlands, we didn't have the stuff up from Colorado Mines yet, so we got some highlights from that with knocking down some threes, a couple layups, a couple dunks. Just did a lot of things. They played a lot of zone against us. Just probably didn't have the energy. It was a huge shot from Marco at the end. We've had hopefully it's not our MO, but it's turning into it where we'll get a 9, 10, 12-point lead, and then we kind of let teams back in it, get to that 4 or 5, and then all of a sudden we hit a big shot and kind of put it away. That's happened to us 3 times already this year, and we got to do a better job of when we get those 10, 12-point leads is just kind of putting it on them. But that being said, we got guys making plays when we need to make plays at the end of the game, whether we're up 10, down 5, whatever the case is, and got probably the easiest dunk of his life, Marco, and I thought it was at the end of the game and a little bit tired and had a lot of cookies, I'm sure, over break, and I didn't know if he was going to lay it in or not, so he definitely was wide open to not have the finger roll that he usually does. So. All right, any quick questions for me for the weekend and get back here next week for? Yes?
How are the RMAC standings shaping up right now?
RMAC standings are, I don't know, it's going to be, pretty clustered. We're in 6th right now, or 7th, I think. Westminster doesn't go on to the tournament. Basically, if you can end up in over 500 or at 500, you should make the tournament. The way it looks, that depends on the things that just happened, though. With we had a couple big games this weekend where Chadron State won. Regis beat Fort Lewis on the road. That was Fort Lewis's first loss. Obviously, we beat the only loss that Colorado Christian has is a loss against us. Pueblo's very good. Metro and Mines are going to be up there as those top 4 or 5 when they have a couple losses. But after that, there's 5, 6 of us that are going to be, hopefully around 500, hopefully above 500, able to make that tournament. And then there's a couple teams that only have a couple wins right now. And honestly, one of those teams is Highlands, and we just played them, and I'm like, holy cows, how do these guys only have 2 wins in the conference? Well, it tells you the teams that they've played. Number one, they played those top teams right now, obviously including us. So when they start playing some of those other ones, they're going to be right there. Obviously, it's a huge one for us on Saturday night to make sure that we stay up in that top 8 spots.
And what's the format for the tournament?
The format for the tournament is they do take the top 8, and then the 8 goes to 1 and so on down. So the top 4 have a home playoff game, and then after that, you just keep playing from there. So. That's our goal. It's been our goal from day one. We put ourselves in a great position right now. We're, not quite half of the way through, but got our, whatever we have, 12, 14 games left in the conference, and every game is that much more important. Yeah?
Where does the tournament play?
It's at the home sites of the teams with the higher rankings. Yep. That's a good question. All right, yeah?
How does that make a comment?
I love your comments, so let's hear it.
Anyway, I watch a lot of basketball here, but this is the first I've seen these guys come in as a team. You got individuals are very big players, a team. It's really fun to watch.
We are, and that's one of the things that you've heard some of our players come in and speak at this, that, we've always kind of prided ourselves on having great chemistry and stuff, and the guys that we recruit, and it makes it, I wouldn't say it easier, but we're a little bit more fortunate with the guys are doing things outside of the basketball court with the academics. They're all pretty much in the same thing, so they hang out that way too. But that's an important part for our program is the chemistry side of it. But you're exactly right with this team. Guys from Marco to Connor, some of those guys that they could get 20 points a game, 30 points a game, and sometimes I almost get ticked off at Marco because he'd rather pass, it seems like, and that's fine, that's great, but that's kind of the mentality that we do have is it truly doesn't matter, at least that's the feeling I get, and obviously you guys can see that too. The guys on the team truly don't care who scores. If we win the game, we're good to go. And that you don't have very often in any kind of athletics, no matter at the junior high level or all the way up to professional level. And I truly believe we have that this year, and it's nice to see the guys will just keep playing hard for each other. So, all right, anything else? Okay, let's get these guys. I can't remember who lost the coin flip. Marco, are you one of them? Or you're later today, aren't you? Logan's up here. He's got class, so we'll bring up Logan Elers, and then Troy. Did Troy leave? Troy go. Troy, you're hiding from me. Get up here, man. I know you're up here. All right. And then Troy, we'll get our seniors. We'll get everybody. Try to get through here these next couple months of having our luncheon. But Troy's been here now for 5 years. He's from Los Angeles and has done some great things for us. He got a little bit dinged up to start the year, and we just need to get some more minutes for him now. And he's one of the only guys probably in the country, not just in our conference, that there's nobody literally that can guard him off the bounce. And I say that, kind of going, ooh, there's got to be something. There isn't. I've seen everybody from Texas on down that we've played, and when he's able to go, and his first step is just incredible. And, the guys that take advantage of that is obviously the shooters around there. And then him able to knock down some free throws this year has been definitely nice. That definitely helps. He'd probably be averaging about 60 points a game the last couple of years if he'd make his free throws. But Troy will talk here in a second. Then Logan Elers is a new one for us here. He's from New Zealand. He'll talk a little bit about getting here and those kind of things. I'll let him go. But he was another one. He actually was injured to start the year. About 20 minutes, literally 20 minutes into practice, 10 minutes into practice, he tweaked his groin or hip flexor or whatever, and just one of those nagging injuries where you just basically have to take some time off. So to be a true freshman coming in, we had high expectations for him, and to not be able to get that time right off the bat, we're starting to finally get him some more time as much as we can, but it's kind of tough too. You have an injury, and then you got some really good players playing ahead of him right now, and he's taking advantage of the minutes that he gets and coming in every day in practice and getting it done as well. So we'll let Logan and Troy go from here.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Yeah, like Coach said, the first or second game I got injured. My ankle was kind of E version, kind of bent inwards. Bent inwards. So I've been off for like a couple weeks starting off the season. So that kind of hindered me a little bit. Got back strong. Remember last season and the last couple seasons I've been shooting free throws really bad. And now this season I'm doing very well. I'm shooting in the 70-80% range. So that's good for me. This last weekend, what do we have? Yeah, my boy Coolers has been out. Kind of missed him for our game against Colorado Mines, which we really needed him for that one. This weekend, I expect us to win both games, like always, every weekend. I just want, if we continue to shoot as good as we shot the first Highland game, I believe that we'll do really, really good here on out in the rest of our games. So,
So my name's Logan, as Coach said. I'm from New Zealand, actually one of two New Zealanders now, so we have two Kiwis there with redshirting. Yeah, it was like first proper drill we did in practice, and tweaked my hip flexor, so I was out all preseason basically, well, all preseason games. And I'm getting back into it, like Coach said, a few more minutes. And I know it's been good. It's exciting playing this team. I don't know if I played in a team that's so well knit together. Our chemistry's great, from the seniors down to all our freshmen and our redshirts. We're all well knit, I should say. So I don't know. For me, like Troy said, we're going to win both games this week. Highlands is going to be another tough one. You don't mind losing to the same team twice, especially 2 weeks in a row. And I'm excited to play with them, but it should be a good game as well. That's all from me.
What kind of questions do you have for them?
Logan, tell your story how you got here from.
Okay. So New Zealand's a long way away from where I am right now in South Dakota. So basically how I got here was I was a part of a recruiting agency where I sent my video out to basically the agency that put it together, and they sent it out to different coaches around the country. So then the coaches would get back in contact with me, and we'd just roll from there. And Coach Henry was one of the first coaches that got back to me, and it was honestly like, it was easy to talk to Coach. We'd talk on Skype maybe like once every 2 weeks. We'd try to talk as much as possible. And then I ended up coming out to visit, and I don't know if I'm ashamed to say I also visited Colorado mines, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot more here. And then my visit here was perfect, and obviously that's why I came. The atmosphere here, coach's family, they really make me feel welcome. And it's tough being away from home, but with everyone here, it's a lot easier. Any more questions? Yes.
How do you like winter when you're having summer at your place?
You have to bring it up, do you?
No, it's definitely tough. I think it's going to be about 4 years of straight winter basically for me. Since I know when I go home it's going to be winter, but I'm definitely missing my friends hanging out at the beach right now. I'm not going to lie, a lot of snow, but I'll adapt. Yes.
What's your major that you're taking up?
Okay, so I'm looking to be a metallurgical engineer. So me and 2 other freshmen in our class as well, Jack and Troy, at the moment, metallurgical engineers, and that's really interesting. To be honest, I didn't know much about it coming in, but definitely talking to coach, talking to my academic advisor, and everyone in the department really working for welcome, and so I'm excited to learn more about metallurgical.
Anything for Troy? Congratulations.
So Troy, what did you do to improve your free throw shooting? I mean, last year you were trying every doggone thing known to
Somebody even said I did an underhand shot, which never happened. Never happened.
So what changed?
Just my form. I mean, since I can remember, I've always been able to shoot, and then I just all of a sudden just stopped shooting, stopped getting to the gym, and stopped working on my craft. So I went back when I went back home. I kind of worked with my dad a lot on my shot. So when I went back home, he kind of fixed my form up, make sure I got underneath the ball, which is like one of the biggest problems, and getting rid of the hitch in my shot on a free throw. So like once I got rid of that, everything kind of just flowed. And
You realize the outstanding arch you have in your free throw makes it
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got one of the highest arch shots in the team. So. In the world, I'll say some high.
What are your plans after you graduate?
Ooh, that's a real life question. Yeah, gotta graduate first, right? But no, I've been looking around. I've been like kind of on the website, talking to people on the emails. Indeed, I'm hitting up Indeed really hard now. I plan on going somewhere where I can kind of be myself and where I can learn a lot about just the company. Yeah. So that's my goal. I plan on after like getting way down the line, I plan on actually going back into my community and helping the homeless people out there. I want to open up a little organization that kind of gets them jobs and gets them into the workforce, gets them housing, gets them schooling and stuff like that. So that's my long-term goal as far as me.
Anything else for these guys? All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys. Very interesting. Coach Henry, I know you're a North Dakota guy, but word to the wise, don't go to North Dakota for Christmas. I mean, it's not the best place to go. Coach Larsen, the women's basketball team, 2 big wins on the road. Welcome up head coach Ryan Larsen.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Good crowd here today. A cold day outside. Yeah, it was a really good weekend, especially the way we ended the first semester. Going way back a couple weeks ago, game against Chadron State. I really don't have any good answers for that game. We obviously didn't have our A game that day. We looked confused offensively at times. Really struggled rebounding. Got lost a lot defensively. Credit to Chadron State, obviously. They played a whale of a game, and we weren't able to answer the bell when the horn sounded there. But as poorly as we played, you look back on that, and the way we battled back, and we did. We continued to fight. We continued to scrap. And we had a shot to tie it at the end that unfortunately we didn't get off again. But you know, all that aside, as poorly as we did play, you know, the character of our team really showed up again, and kind of hopefully had a chance to tie it at the buzzer there, but didn't get that shot up again. But that is now behind us. Now that I'm done talking about it, it is finally behind us. The Regis game the next day, it was obvious. You know, it was time for Christmas break, is what it was. It was time for Christmas break. Both Cooper Courtney and Krista Showalter were out in that game. They were both with the stomach flu. Cooper had salmonella, of all things. Still trying to figure that out. Krista was ill. She thankfully didn't have salmonella, but was very ill herself. So missing 2 guards and you're starting a point guard, that's going to be a rough game. Anytime you play that game. But there again, we just did not have our A game. And after that game, what we talked about in the locker room was, man, what a great time for break. Let's go home. Let's get rested up mentally, physically. All right, and then let's find our joy again. And that's what we did. You know, we came back to practice that Tuesday. You could just tell there's a different pep in our step. You know, we had a lot more juice about us and energy, and really a greater focus. I really felt that. So it was a great time for break. And I tell you what, going to Highlands, that is a scary trip. Come back, 2 days of practice, you jump on the bus and go a long, long ways down south. And you know, you play a scary team. You know, Highlands doesn't have the greatest record, but you watch them on film and you go, wow, this is a scary team. I can see how they could really beat some people if they put it all together. And you know, the first quarter of the game, we scored it pretty well. We did. We were putting some points on the board. We weren't defending quite the way we needed to, game plan wise. And then at the start of the second quarter, kind of challenged the kids. We made some adjustments, and they really clicked it into gear there. We really locked them down defensively. We rebounded the ball very well, and we started to be able to score in the full court again, which is something that we hadn't been able to do for quite a while. You know, we were defending, getting long rebounds, and being able to get out and run a little bit, and that really helped us. And then, over break, you know, again going back to Shadron and the Regis game, we were kind of stuck offensively. We were really stalled, and we were just not getting to our actions the way that we needed to in the half court. And so it was good for the coaches as well. I was able to go back and really study a lot of game film. And what is it that we're missing? You know, I knew the ball was dying. I knew we weren't getting to our actions. You know, we were able to refocus a little bit. Okay, when we came back from break, let's focus on this. Let's make sure we're getting to this action as much as we can. Okay, and guards be more aggressive on this action, post and seal triangles on this type of action. And I tell you what, it really worked out. Focused on a few more things in the half courts as far as what we do offensively. You know, we were able to score at the half court again, which is very, very nice. It was great to see. We kind of lit up the scoreboard there down Highlands in the full court and in the half court. So it was a great showing by us. And nice. The best thing about that Highlands game, I'll go back to the first quarter. You know, we could kind of see a little bit. All right, were we down 1, I believe, or was it tied? Maybe, I'm not quite sure. At the first quarter, you could kind of see that the kids were kind of looking their face like, oh boy, geez, I'm not quite sure about this. How's this going? Yeah, they just got tough. That's what was happening. They got tough. They really dug deep and showed a lot of grit and got some big stops and got out and ran and really scored it. And we'll see that same thing in the third and fourth quarters as well. We just held ourselves to a higher standard, which was great to see. And that was big for us. That was really big as far as a confidence booster. And it rolled over to the next day. Colorado Mines, it was a fantastic game. I believe we led from start to finish. There again, we were able to really defend Colorado Mines. We did a fantastic job. We turned them over. We got to a number of double teams. We rebounded the ball very well. Mines is a very good, outstanding rebounding team. We tied them for overall rebounds. They had a few more offensive rebounds than us, but the first statistic is what I'm more concerned about. And so to tie them in rebounds, it really gave an advantage to us. But we turned them over. We were able to score in the full court. We got out and ran on them. Executed wonderfully in the half court and found a lot of easy baskets. And kids made big plays. And we could just. We were up 13 at half, and we knew they were going to come out and really make a run. They go on a 4-0 run to start the half. All right. And we stretched the lead to start the fourth quarter. And that's just a confidence booster for our kids. And it was a heck of a lot of fun. I tell you what, that was one of our better performances of the year right now. And I remember it wasn't too long ago, I kind of have the same feeling right now where, we really played well a couple of games. We're talking about what we're doing, how we're playing well, doing good things, but we have to keep that bottled up right now. We just have to stay focused on what we're doing well and concentrate from one day to the next of how to get better and better every day in practice, because I tell you what, it doesn't get easier this weekend. Friday night, we got Colorado State Pueblo. As of last week, they were number 9 in the nation. They didn't lose this weekend. They beat Black Hills State on Friday, so I'm sure they won't drop in the standings nationally. So a very good challenge, really good challenge, and I'm looking forward to it. We were able to beat them on their home court last year. There again, we just played one of our better games of the year, and when you can beat good teams on the road, all right, you know what kind of team you are. And so we have to play with that confidence and execution that we had last week. Megan's going to speak with us. One of Pueblo's leading scorers is Megan's sister, little sister. All right, we got to find a way to shut her down. We probably won't match them up correctly. All right, for Megan's sake. I'm guessing Molly will be guarding you, but we'll find out. Megan did a tremendous job of guarding her sister last year. Last year we kind of doubled her a little bit, and so probably stick with the same game plan there. But yeah, Friday night's going to be a tremendous challenge, and our kids are really looking forward to it. I can tell by the way we practiced yesterday. We went just an hour quick yesterday of individual workouts basically, and we had a really good pace to ourselves. And then today at practice, we really competed. It was a fun practice to be a part of. We really got after it. So I know that our kids' focus is in the right areas right now. Grant's got some clips for us. I'm not quite sure what he's got up, so I apologize about that. I know it's the Highlands game, third quarter. There's a really good hustle play. We were able to turn them over in the half court. Molly runs out like Molly does, misses a layup, but we make a hustle play and followed up with a layup, offensive rebound layup. And then, I'll tell you what, Sammy Stefik, she's the opposing point guards are really starting to dislike her, which is a good thing. She is bothering the snot out of them. There's a tremendous post move by Anna Haugen. Good score in the half court. I remember this possession, we turned them over again. And there's a jump hook by Molly that she's been working on all year, right, Megan? Heck of a move by Molly. Good job there. And they're just a really good play by Anna Haugen, who was Offensive Player of the Week this week in the RMAC. So what a nice compliment there for Anna, and well deserved. Cooper Courtney snapping one down from the arc. Cooper's a tremendous shooter for us. Good to get her minutes. That was a fun game down at Highlands. It was. We were able to play a lot of kids. Sarah Rawlings had about 30 people there. Her mom is originally from Las Vegas, New Mexico. And her grandparents still live there, so there was a really nice contingent of Hardrocker fans there. So yeah, that was fun. And we were able to carry it over. And we are carrying over our momentum from the 2 wins that we had this week with a great start to practice. Yeah, great weekend. Really excited with the direction that we're heading. If you're going to ask me about the standings, I don't know. I don't look. I really don't. Probably for my own sake, so I don't sleep well enough the way it is. So if I look too far into the future, that's not good for me. But I do know with those 2 road wins, just what I know of the league and who's won and who's lost, that we're back in the thick of it, that's for sure. And if we get 2 this weekend, we really position ourselves nicely. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, exciting weekend. I tell you what, when you get a big road win, a road sweep for that matter, and you see the looks on your kids' faces in the locker room after the game, the smiles on your seniors' faces, and just the pure excitement, that's what makes this profession really fun. And then I tell you, I'll give Coach Henry a shout out here. He's the first one to give our kids high fives. Shoot, I think he went in the locker room as soon as they got in there and celebrated with them. That's fun stuff. That is really fun stuff. When you work with a men's coach and men's program that really cares about how the rest of your sports are doing, that makes it really fun. Just again, a great weekend. I'm giving him props because I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that I took 4 straight cribbage games from Coach Henry on the way home. So I'm building him up a little bit before I tear him down. And then on the way there, if I do remember correctly, I think I won 3 straight. So, if we combine the weekend together, that's 7 straight cribbage games. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I lose count, but good cribbage games. Guest here today, Megan Rohrer. Megan's been coming up and speaking to us for 4 years. Tough to say how much she's meant to this program. She surpassed the 1,000 points mark a couple weeks ago. Really worked hard on her game, and you can see how much she's improved in 4 years. This year she's really turned into a tremendous leader for our program as being a captain. And then, personally, I was told a long time ago, if you're not listening to your players and help them making you better, you're probably not doing your job as a coach. And she's been really good for me, all right, as far as communicating what we could be doing better as a team, coaching staff and stuff like that. I've learned a lot from her over the past 4 years, especially the last 2 years. So she's made me look really smart at times offensively, all right. But on the flip side of that, she's been really good for us as a program as far as just good player-coach relationship of communicating wise, and so that's been a lot of fun. She is set with a job already, a big-time gig. All right, Megan, this is a warning right now. Nate Brown will be hitting you up once you graduate since you got that job. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about Megan Rohrer. She's just been a tremendous ambassador for this program. She's been a tremendous leader, especially for our freshman post players. Really teaching them and just teaching them how to be college athletes. Division II college basketball players. And it's been a fun senior year, but we're going to keep this thing going. You're going to see her playing for a number of months yet here. Megan, come on up.
Thanks, Coach. I'm Megan Rohrer from Greenwood Village, Colorado, a senior. I think the winter break was really good for us. We were kind of on a downhill spiral, and I was really proud of all the girls because we worked really hard over winter break and kind of came back into practice and had 2 really good practices and then 2 really good road wins. This says a lot about our team, but I have a really good family friend that always watches our games, and she texted me after the 2 wins this weekend, and she said, it looks like your team really believes now, and that says a lot about our team, I think. And I mean, we could have easily kept going downward, and we turned it around, and now we believe, and we know we're going to make the tournament, and that's the ultimate goal this year. Like Coach said, we're going to be playing my sister this weekend. They are ranked 9th in the nation, undefeated in the RMAC, but their record didn't stop us last year, so we're ignoring that. And I don't know, I'm really excited to play her. It was fun last year, and it's going to be a fun game this year too, I think. And we have about 20 people from my family coming, so that'll be good also. And we also have New Mexico Highlands again, and so we're looking to get 2 wins this weekend. And yeah, Coach said I did accept a job offer with Union Pacific Railways. It's kind of a management position. And, yeah, anybody have any questions for me?
So what's the real scoop on you and Molly?
What's the what?
Outside of it, what's the real scoop? You guys get after it when you play, when you're home alone playing one-on-one?
Yeah, we have a basketball trainer at home, and we went to work out with him a couple times over break, and it was pretty competitive. We don't like to play one-on-one with each other. She blocks my shot a lot, and I don't like that, and because she's 2 inches taller than me. But I'm stronger, so it's okay.
So it'll be fun.
It'll be good.
Is your sister younger?
Yep, she's 2 years younger. She's a sophomore.
Where is your job at? Where will you go?
It's my first permanent location is North Platte, Nebraska.
Oh, that's What will you be doing?
Well, the first year is all training. And as far as I know, I'm just gonna be managing a team of workers working on the trains.
There are a lot of trains down there.
Yep, that's the railroad central of the country, so it'll be a really good experience.
Megan, what was the biggest challenge when you look back over your career here? What do you think was the biggest challenge you overcame? Outside of school.
Outside of school, I mean, speaking basketball-wise, I think the biggest challenge has been being a leader, and I think for me, verbally being a leader, because for the past 3 years, I guess, I haven't been as talkative to the players, and I just think this year I had to step up being captain and really bringing the girls together, because it's been my dream to make the RMAC tournament, and instead of kind of leading by example, I want to lead also with communicating to my team and giving pointers, as Coach said, to the new freshman posts. I think that's been a really good challenge this year, and I mean, Hannah got Offensive Player of the Week, so I kind of partially take credit.
All right, my brother worked in North Platte for UP, so good luck, he enjoyed it. It's not that bad of a place like everybody was trying to say. Oh, good. Yeah, you came from Nebraska, right?
2 years.
Not from Nebraska, but spent some time in Nebraska. Right. All right, everybody, big weekend this weekend. We welcome you out Friday night. It's youth sports night. Kids 12 and under get in free with their youth sports jersey, so we're hoping to have a bunch of kids here rooting on the Hardrockers, taking on CSU Pueblo, and then Saturday, New Mexico Highlands, 3:30 and 5:30. We'll see you next Tuesday at a location to be determined. Stay tuned. Thanks for coming.